as we started our lesson, American flag stands for tolerance. And we said that this text here is a newspaper editorial by Roland J. Allen. And basically when we say an editorial, when I say... Okay, thank you. Thank you. And you said that, what is a newspaper editorial? As you can see there under the title, newspaper editorial.
Page what, Mr.?
It is page 18, Nasser. Page 18. American flag stands for tolerance, newspaper editorial by Ronald Allen. What's a newspaper editorial?
Like his job.
Okay, yes, it is a job, yes. When we say, you know, the editor is a job, of course. We say that someone is an editor. Yes, he works for, you know, a newspaper. So we have Saud here. Very good. Saud is there. I think Bayasi has left us. Bayasi has left us, I think. Anyway, so yes, an editor, of course, is a job. Here we're describing this article, this newspaper article, as a newspaper editorial. So basically, we mean like, you know, let's say an article in a newspaper that, you know, expresses the writer or the editor's opinion on a subject of particular interest, like the one that we're discussing here, the burning the American flag. You see, so an editorial, as I said, it is an article that shows us or that expresses the editor's opinion on a particular subject of interest. Did you get my point? This text is just an example. Okay? Yes. Yes, very good. So yesterday we started, I think Bakr started reading the introduction. What is the main idea of the introduction here, there?
Comparing.
Very good. There was, yes, there is a comparison between two incidents.
Comparing how United States responded to the burning of the flag and how China responded to the
protesters.
Yes.
Protesters, yes. Yeah, very good. So here we have like two incidents. One that happened in almost the same thing. People went out to protest against the government's policies. In America, people even went more in you know, burning or setting fire on the American flag. In China, they went out
peacefully.
Somehow, yes, because most of them are students, by the way, in Beijing. But later, we're discussing the difference between the American government's reaction towards these protesters and the Chinese reaction as well. And we said that there is a big difference between both of them. Concerning the American, they were like tolerant. They, you know, by law, they cannot, you know, let's say, react so harsh towards these protesters. Though, by the way, we're not talking about Plato is, you know, ideal republic. No, even in the United States, you can see things that happened just a couple of months ago with George Floyd's demonstrations. You find the brutality of police. I think you saw that police beating people and whatever. You said that, I think. Right? Yeah, so please, we don't take everything, as I said, for granted. It's not ideal. It's not perfect. We still have mistakes, but the thing is that, you know, it is totally different between, for example, you know, either beating people or using, let's say, gas, guns, and whatever, or killing them. So here is the difference. In China, and I you know, shared the video yesterday. I'm not sure if you watched it. No, yeah. But yes, I have another video, just a 3-minute video. We might not you know, uh, you know, see it all, but let me just share a part of it just to make you, where is that? Yes, share.
Mr.
So
Farmer, the audio works good. Yeah, we can hear.
even now, I think you will be able to do it. Can you just check?
With NBC News correspondent
Yeah.
Tom Brokaw.
Good.
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, I can hear it.
Forever, but no one thought it would come to this. A brutal massacre of Chinese students and other protesters by the Chinese army. The death count goes on tonight, and it is at least in the hundreds. It may go as high as 1,000 or more, and the fighting is not yet over. China is a nation at war with itself. As a result, the world is a much different place tonight. We've asked NBC's George Lewis to take us through this long, bloody battle.
Tension had been building all day Saturday after some early skirmishes between students and soldiers. Anticipating a major attack, crowds began heading toward Tiananmen Square to reinforce the students who had been sitting there for 3 weeks. The number of soldiers ringing the square increased dramatically, thousands of them taking up positions in the center of town. Some of the demonstrators showed off the scars and bruises they had received in early encounters with the troops. This young man said that his face had been slashed by a soldier using the edge of his helmet as a weapon. Nightfall Saturday, the soldiers' first attempt to enter the square. As they had on previous occasions, the students and their supporters massed around the convoys, blocking their movements. Some of the demonstrators tried to befriend the soldiers, saying that the People's Army and the people should not be enemies. It was a short, peaceful interlude. In the early morning hours of Sunday, armored personnel carriers began to advance on the square. The crowd quickly turned into an angry mob, attacking the armored vehicles with rocks, pipes, and Molotov cocktails. Soldiers trying to flee the vehicle were clubbed. The Army later claimed that the entire crew had been killed. There was a volley of tear gas. Then, without warning, the Army opened up with bullets, firing indiscriminately at the crowd.
They just killed another one in the square.
People used bicycles, pedicabs, whatever they could find to carry away the casualties. One doctor estimated the number of dead at 500. The doctor said, "My government has gone mad." One official government report characterized the massacre as a glorious victory over counter-revolutionary turmoil. But hardly anyone in this city thinks there's much glory in shooting down unarmed civilians. George Lewis, NBC News, Beijing.
Very good.
Hey,
So
NBC News.
we have got with that. This is just another one quickly. It gives you look at this. This is, by the way, so historic. This scene here. When this student, supposedly to be student, tried to stop tanks, from moving on. And look at here when the gun shooting, if you can see that. Did you notice that here? Look.
Yeah.
Yes, gun
They
shooting.
killed them.
They killed a lot of people, by the way. Yes, they killed a lot of people. Good. Cool. Anyway, so yes, let's go back. Yes, here there is another problem. Was stopped because of an error. Anyway, so here, as we said, the writer or the editor, in his newspaper article, he tried just to start his article by making the comparison between the American and Chinese governments, reaction towards the protesters. Yes, then I need someone, please, to carry on reading on the surface. But before that, yes, I need someone to reread, the introduction.
Page what?
Page 18, Abdullah. Could you just go for that, please?
The introduction. Okay.
Yes.
The Mr. Begin of the story or whatever this is.
In a controversial decision. Yes.
Okay. In a controversial decision, the Supreme Court, by the closest possible margin of a 5-4 vote, held that a person has a right to express disagreement with governmental policies by burning the American flag. In a decision at least controversial, the leadership of the People Republic of China decided that citizens who peacefully expressed disagreements with the government policies may be slaughtered. On the surface, these two events may seem to be little relationship to one another, but deep and fundamental lessons can be drawn from their
Thank you
compromise.
very much, Abdullah. If you look, thank you, Abdullah. If you look at this word here, guys, China, the Republic of China decided that citizens who peacefully express disagreement with government policies may be, what is the word? What is the word?
Slaughtered.
Slaughtered. And we need to stop at this word here. The writer could simply say, instead of slaughtered,
Killed.
killed. Very good. In a very simple way, killed. But here the word slaughtered, you know, what is the message behind? To show the image that, yeah, it's not killed, it's just to show, let's say, to highlight the brutality or the police brutality against the people. So instead of killed, he said slaughtered. And slaughtered here as if they are not people, they are like, you know, animals, between inverted commas. Good. He said, on the surface, these two events may seem to bear little relationship to one another, but deep and fundamental lessons can be drawn from their comparison. Now we're going to move on and see these lessons. Someone else to continue, please. The American flag.
Yes, me.
Yes, but before that, Muhammad, in here, of course, as we said, this article expresses Ronald Allen's opinion on burning the American flag. Later, when we find out his opinion, we're going to compare this opinion to ours that we stated last time. So maybe I found that a lot of our opinions last time, let's say, go hand in hand with this opinion. So you share almost the same opinion with, you know, Ronald Allen. We read and then we see, you know, his opinion. Okay? Yes, Lejan, please go ahead.
The American flag is a cherished symbol of our nation aspirations. It is the closest object to a national icon, rivaled only by the Constitution of Declaration of Independence. Given the widespread and deeply felt reverence for this symbol of what we perceive to be the best of our civilization, what is the harm in insisting upon a modicum
Yes.
of respect for it? After all, no one can seriously equate a prohibition on flag burning with an imposition of governmental orthodoxy. In political speech, any messages that burning the flag might convey easily can be communicated in other ways. Those are powerful points, deserving the greatest respect. If not rebutted, they compel the conclusion that the Supreme Court was wrong in its decision.
Okay.
I continue.
Yes, please.
The Supreme Court was not wrong. Indeed, a decision contrary to the one reached would have been a definitive step away from our national aspirations.
Aspirations.
A commitment to the intertwined freedoms of
Conscience.
conscience and expression is at the core of those aspirations. The most
What most
distinguishes
distinguishes our civilization? What? What
what?
most? Yeah, it is there. What most? The sentence?
Yeah, what most distinguishes our civilization from both its predecessors and its contemporary.
Contemporary competitors.
Competitors.
Contemporary competitors. Yes.
Competitors is a belief in the sunset. What is this
Sanctity.
word? sanctity of the human conscience. Or
Thank you. Thank you. So each
Thank
individual
you.
is to, yes, each individual is to have the freedom to develop by his or her own lights and not by the demands of the officialdom. This is very important. Now, as thanks a lot, Muhammad. So let's go back to the second paragraph here. He started, giving his reasons or his opinion concerning this incident. He said the American flag is a cherished symbol of our national aspiration. It is the closest object to a nation, to the national or to a national icon. And when we talk about icons and iconicity, we're talking about the most important figures in a society or a nation. When talking about the United States here, we're talking about the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, we're talking about the Statute of Liberty. So the flag is just one of these icons, okay? Okay? And then he said, I'm sorry?
Okay.
No. Is there any question here? Yes.
No, there's no question.
So we said that here the writer wanted to highlight the status of the American flag in their, let's say, national, concept and views. Here, the flag is just an icon, simple as as other icons. They are almost the same. The Constitution, as I said, the Statute of Liberty, the Declaration of Independence, the flag. These are all stand as American icons. And when we talk about icons, we're talking about famous, let's say, concepts or famous, let's say, places or famous figures or famous idols. These are all considered as icons. The flag is just one of them. And here it tells us a bit about his opinion. So do you think, after saying this, and even the second sentence, given the widespread and deeply felt reverence for this symbol of what we perceive to be the best of our civilization, what he says here, do you think that he would go with the ones who are with burning the American flag as a state of expressing their feelings? Do you think that with saying this, do you think that he is for burning the American flag?
No.
Yeah, what do you think?
He's against, but we'll discover, I think, that he is with.
Abdurrahman, could you just say it again, please, because I couldn't hear you well.
From what he is expressing here,
yes.
It seems that he's not with burning the flag.
Very good. That's good. And this is a very important point. So he is against burning the American flag because he considers the flag as the other icons in importance, significance, and reverence. So number one, he is against burning the American flag. And you can see this next. So he said, any messages that burning the flag might convey easily can be communicated in other ways. What does that mean? I think this was Abdurrahman's opinion last time. And I think Lejan, maybe Abdullah as well. What do you understand from this? Any messages that burning the flag might convey easily can
be express it in another way.
This is it. So he said, why is that? So if you want to express yourselves, you have a lot of means to just to do it without getting, burning, or without getting our flag, our national icon burnt. And what do you think of this? How do you evaluate his opinion? Yes. I'm sorry, Abdullah, could you speak up, please?
Mr.
Yes. Yes.
No. Abdurrahman.
Abdurrahman, I'm not sure. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I say that I agree with it.
You agree with it, so...
صوتك بعيد عبد الرحمن.
My voice
no, I think now it's okay. Yeah, it was, but now it's okay. Yes, as Abdurrahman said, I think this view is so balanced. You can express yourself. Even the messages then can, burning the flag can deliver. This can be communicated easily in other ways. So please, we have to preserve our national icon status. We have to not even to preserve it, but to maintain it as well. But
Mr.
yes, Nasser.
In the beginning of the first class on Sunday, we said that people learn from history. It is in social, but it's the same thing here in English.
Yes.
People have learned from history about burning the flags, and it is like something expression that it is not good. Okay, these days it's happening. The same thing is happening. That means that you haven't learned yet from history.
I really appreciate your connection between social studies and literature because yes, this is it. We cannot separate both fields. But can you just explain this? We cannot learn. You mean like what happened to George Floyd? Is that what you meant? Yes, this is it. We are repeating the same mistakes and we're paying the same price almost. We're paying the same sacrifice. It is just like that. Here it is really difficult, especially when talking about, discrimination, even in the world, let's say the most developed countries in the world, when talking about Europe and whatever. Yes, we still have, let's say, superiority of law and freedom and democracy. But in some cases, yeah, you find racism. It is there. It is there. This is something like, perfection is something that cannot be reached anyway. So, but yeah, in some cases, you see that the humans are just repeating themselves. History repeats itself, and they just committing the same or making the same mistakes. You see, this is very important, Nasser. Thanks. If we continue then, so number one, we found out that the writer is against burning the American flag. Okay, and he said, what most distinguishes our civilization from both its predecessors and its contemporary competitors, here we're talking about the old regimes and here contemporary competitors like other countries, is a belief in the sanctity and of the human conscience. Sanctity here means sacredness. And when we're talking about conscience, we're talking about the freedom of belief, freedom of expression, and freedom of speech. That's all conscience here. If you believe in something, just go and express yourself. This is something that makes America different from others, as this editor claims. Okay, so here we need to focus on that, the importance, or let's say, the sanctity, the sacredness. It is something, the holiness. It is something holy, something sacred that is guaranteed in the states, which is the freedom of, human conscience. Each individual is to have the freedom to develop by his or her own lights. When we talk about lights here, what do you mean by lights? Each individual is to have the freedom, page 18, I think the last two sentences. Each individual is to have the freedom to develop by his or her own lights and not by the common Alhamdulillah. I'm sorry. And not by the command of officialdom. Thanks a lot. You too. Thanks. So what is his or her own lights? I'm talking about lights here. What do you mean by that? Everyone has
ideas.
Very good. Thank you. We're talking about ideas. We're talking about thoughts. We're talking about beliefs. This is it. You guided by your own lights. You guided by your own ideas, your own beliefs, your own conceptions, your own understandings of something. He said, and not by the command of officialdom. Here we're talking about the system. It is not the system, it is you. It means like you express yourself the way you see it, or guided by your beliefs and your, let's say, ideas and thoughts. Not not by, of course, the obligations or compulsions that the system make. Then he said, that requires not just the right to be alone, but also the right to communicate with, to learn from, and test views in conversations. It is thus no surprise that the First Amendment is where it is in the Bill of Rights, for it is first in importance, a concomitant of the commitment to freedom of conscience. In a sense, its mirror image is that no one has better access to truth than anyone else. Official dogma is not better than the beliefs of the private citizens. And this is really, really important. Now, we said that he is against burning the American flag. But is he against the First Amendment?
No.
No, it is just the opposite. He is celebrating the First Amendment. He is just celebrating the First Amendment. He said, freedom of rights, the Bill of Rights here, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of expression. And he said, official dogma. Can anyone just give us the definition of dogma there? Yes, Thamer, are you there? Thamer?
Yes. May I say, sir?
You need to read the definition, Nasser, or what?
No
I'll just get it to Thamer, please. Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Dogma,
Thanks.
principles or beliefs that an author insists are true.
That an authority, dogma, it is, the principles or beliefs that an authority insists are true. It means like dogmas are, prevail almost in every society. Sometimes we have ideas and principles that are widespread and dominant, and they control society. Though these, dogmas might not be completely right. This is the thing. Here he said, official dogma is not better than the beliefs of private citizens. It is true to comply with the regulations. It is good to go hand in hand with the general stream of society. But at the same time, you should keep your own, yes? You should keep your own what?
Ideas.
Your own ideas. It means like here, it is good to cherish every national thing, but at the same time, it is your right to express yourself. It is your right to express yourself the way, you see it. As long as you don't harm anyone else, that's it, that's good. Keep your own thoughts and stick to them, as simple as that. And you should celebrate them because they will define who you are. In other words, you should not be melted in society or in social regulations. You respect all of the regulations, but at the same time, you keep some personal privacy, or let's say some personal, what we call it, self, I can get the word, what? When you share your own principles,
Self-control?
Not self-control, it is when you cherish your own principles, not self-praisal, it's another word, I'll get it, So, and here, of course...
Independence, sir?
I'm sorry?
Can't we say independence?
Not independence, it is just self, as I said, when you celebrate your own ideas and you feel proud of yourself, it is, I forgot the word, it is somewhere here close to me, but it's on my tip of the tongue, but I can't get it. It's when, of course, you share your own values and your own ideas and you show pride of yourself, you see? So here, this is the point. We respect these dogmas, but at the same time, we should celebrate our own values. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
So he is against burning the. I'm sorry. He is against burning the American flag, but at the same time, he is with the First Amendment and the Bill of Rights, and preserving and guaranteeing the right to express yourself the way you see it proper or appropriate. Now, there is another point here, the dissenters. Someone to read that, please, line 39.
May I?
Yes, please, go ahead.
The dissenters in the flag burning case and their supporters might at this
juncture.
juncture, note an irony in my argument. My point is that freedom of conscience and expression is at the core of our self-conception, and that commitment to it requires the rejection of official dogma. But how is that admittedly dogmatic belief different from any other dogma, such as the one inferring that freedom of expression stops at the border of the flag? The crucial distinction is that the commitment to freedom of conscience.
No conscience, Abdulrahman. It is conscience. Conscience, please. Yes.
Conscience and the expression states the simplest and least self-contradictory principle that seems to capture our aspirations. Any other principle is hopelessly at odds with our commitment to freedom of conscience. The controversy surrounding the flag burning case makes the case well. Do I complete?
Yes, please.
The controversy will rage precisely because burning the flag is such a powerful form of communication. Were it not, who would care? Thus were we to
I'm sorry, this is almost the conclusion. I'll just go for that, Abdulrahman, thank you. Thus, were we to embrace a prohibition on such communication, just burning the flag, we would be saying that the First Amendment protects expression only when no one is offended. You see, that would mean that this aspect of the First Amendment would be virtually no consequence. It would protect a person only when no protection was when no protection was needed. Thus, we do have one official dogma. Each American might think and express anything he wants. The exception is expression that involves the risks of injury to others and the destruction of someone else's property. Neither was present in this case. So in just one word, burning the flag has nothing to do with the destruction of someone else's property or the risk of injury to others. Neither was present in this case. So we against it. We should find another way to express ourselves much easier and better to convey the same messages as burning the flag, but at the same time,
it is legal.
Yes, but it is legal. I think, guys, time is up. We come into this later with a quiz, inshallah, and just highlight some other critical vocabulary words. Any questions before we leave?
Thank you.
Yes, as always, remember the title of this, of this collection, Ourselves and Others. We as human beings must be willing to accept people who are different from ourselves. Thank you very much, gents. Have a nice day and catch you later at 10:20, I think.
Yeah. After
Goodbye.
After the session, yes. Goodbye and see you later, inshallah.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul.
Most welcome. Thank you very much, gents. Thank you.